You're listening to the Hunt Stealth Podcast with Ryan Uffins, the podcast where we dive headfirst into the wild. Whether you're an aspiring hunter or an adventurer seeking the untamed, together we'll explore the strategies and stories that lead to success in the great outdoors.
Hey folks, welcome to another episode of the Hunt Stealth Podcast. Excited to have special guest Logan Romney on today, also known as Creative Hunter, founder of Creative Hunter Media. Logan, dude, appreciate you joining me today, brother.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Thanks for having me on. I've been excited about this. Known you for a couple months now, I guess. We're starting to maybe look at working on some projects together, and I'm excited, dude.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn from you. So for folks that maybe aren't familiar with you, maybe just share a little bit about your background, like how you grew up hunting, and kind of how you transitioned into the creative side of the hunting world, if you would.
Yeah, dude. So I hunted growing up as long as I can remember. I'd go out with my dad, but before I even was old enough to have a tag in my pocket and just follow him around. And I grew up doing that, so I hunted forever and got out of high school. It was like COVID time frame, so I had a ton of time and just not much going on. So I bought a camera and started taking photos. I was really into wildlife photography and started doing that for about a year. And then I discovered some of these guys out here like Stephen Drake and Zach Batlin who are shooting photos for hunting, right? Like they were getting paid to shoot photos while they were out hunting. And I thought that was the coolest thing. And kind of started down that path of like, how do I make this a career? How do I get paid for this? So while I was going to school, going to college, I also was kind of starting this photography business and learning how to do it and grow and capture hunts through both video and photography. And just at first it was like filming buddies' hunts for free and just like taking a bunch of photos and making a film for them just for the heck of it. Like sometimes they'd pay for my food and travel, and sometimes I just go because I wanted to learn. And eventually it just kind of led into this thing where I started just doing it more and getting paid for it. And now just this last year I started Creative Hunter Media. So it's just a media agency, and it's just me right now, but I work with a lot of other creatives and brands. And that's what we do, is full-time content creation, making hunting films, making content for the hunting industry.
Well, and you recently also went out with somebody who's pretty big into making films, in Gritty. Didn't you go out and help him with film one of his hunts recently?
Yeah, just helping him film some trips over the summer. It was one trip, but we've been chatting. We're probably gonna do some more stuff in the future. But yeah, he's awesome. I love Brian Cole.
Well, I mean, I think that's, you're being humble about it, but that's like a big deal because, I mean, he's pretty particular about how he wants his hunts filmed. So I'll toot your horn a little bit for you. I think that's awesome. Yeah, Brian's a great dude, and the films that he puts together, he just keeps getting better and better and better. It's fun to see everything that he's working on, and it's fun to see, like, I've been following you for a while now and kind of seeing your transition into what you're doing. So well, I already know the answer to this, but for people that are out there that are thinking like, hey, I'm going to start filming my hunts and documenting them. What was that transition like? How difficult was that?
Well, that's a good question. Like, filming your own hunts is so much harder than just filming someone else's hunt. Like when you have to be the hunter and the camera guy, and you have to try and get everything you want to make a good film, like that's really hard. I kind of did some of it, but I really learned how to like make a film filming other people. And so people ask me that a lot. It's just like, how do I get into it? How do I film my own hunts? It's like, well, you should probably get some experience filming some other people's hunts first, because then you don't have to worry about making decisions on the hunt. You don't have to worry about like to get a kill shot when you're by yourself trying to film yourself. Like you have a couple cameras set up and it's like an animal's out there like doing unpredictable things. Like you might not even have time to set that up. And so that's tough.
Well,
And
yeah,
it's
dude.
tough
And the
to
guys
navigate
like me
that.
that are dogs that have been hunting for the past, 5 years now and have yet to even kill anything. I couldn't even imagine trying to film my own hunt. Like,
Yeah,
it's hard enough just get on a damn animal. So
it's true. And archery is like a whole nother ball game, dude. Like, and I know you do some archery hunts, and like
that's all that I
that's
do is archery. I'm like,
yeah. So
I was like, let's pick the most difficult thing to try and do in the hunting industry. And like, I'm going to do that thing. And I'm going to do
seriously,
it over the counter or just try and draw out in Utah.
yeah, yeah. No, it's hard, but I mean, again, like it can be done, and guys do it. I grew up watching solo hunters. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's like Remy Warren. Like he was out there
Yeah.
filming like solo hunts with a bow, like with a Reeker bow, and like getting it on film, which was insane. And that was like my not he's not my mentor, but like that's what I looked up to growing up. It's like, man, this is insane. Like it's possible. It just takes a little bit more effort.
What for somebody that is thinking about maybe starting to film their own hunts and maybe doing it solo, maybe let's break it down into two questions. One, like essential gear for if you're trying to do it solo, and two, if yeah, I think the advice that you gave is if you want to start hunting or filming hunts, don't do your own. It seems like the best way to probably learn to do that. But for someone that's maybe like, hey, I think I want to try going out and film it myself, like what's some essential equipment that you would recommend? And then on the other side, the equipment may be the same, but yeah, let's just jump into that first part first. Someone wanted to do it
Sure.
solo, essential equipment, like to get to try and capture the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, man, there's a bunch of gear, but when it really comes down to it, the best like camera and to use is the camera that you're going to use the most. So everyone has a camera in their pocket. Like your phone takes dang good videos, and you can put it like a spotting scope adapter on there, and you can take videos through the spotting scope. You can film yourself on your phone. Like if you don't have a budget to even buy a camera, like you already have one and it's gonna work great.
Use what you've got.
Use what you've got, right? That's number one. Is like your excuse should never be I can't afford a camera because you already have one. So now if you want to get into like actually filming and like buy or like if you want to actually buy a camera, there's a lot of good options for like pretty cheap. You could go on Facebook Marketplace or eBay and buy a used camera like 500 bucks or less, and it's gonna do great. It's gonna do everything that these professional cameras can do to an extent, right? Like you're especially if it's your first camera, your skills aren't gonna outgrow that camera for a while. Um, it's not really worth buying a super expensive camera when you're just starting out because you're not going to know how to use half the stuff on there. You're not going to know what it means. It's probably worse off. You're probably worse off buying a really expensive camera until you kind of grow into it, right, and learn how to use it. Um, so that's like my first advice on some
Okay,
gear
let me
is just
pause
like
you right there.
understand that.
I have a
Yeah,
follow up question. So, okay, taking it back to like just using what you've got, right? I mean, we all know that people have separation anxiety from their cell phones, right? So, like, they never go anywhere without them. Even when we're out hunting, I think most guys have it in their pocket. They're checking, their Onyx or, maps, whatever, trying to figure out how to get the job done. Um, when you go through, when you're going out on a solo hunt, and let's say someone's just using their iPhone, like, how do you go about? I mean, do you think of, like, okay, I'm going to capture this. I'm going to capture the drive in. I'm going to capture like the setup, setting up camp. Like, is that all pre-planned? I mean, to you, it may just be second nature now because you kind of know what you're doing. But if someone were to try and do that, like, what structure would you tell them to put together to kind of create like your own little solo? I mean, it's really a home video, right? I mean, I was talking, you and I both been talking with Weston MacArthur, and that's what he said. It's like, realistically, like at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, it's great to put it out there, but you're really kind of just taking like your own home videos and making it for yourself and just posting it out on, the internet for people to see.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that
That's a great
setup, like
question.
maybe, yeah, just walk me through any advice you would give to somebody that's trying to capture that, like how do you map it out in your head?
So the way I look at it, when especially when I'm filming myself, and this applies to when you're filming someone else too, but um, I do a lot of updates talking to the camera. And when I talk to the camera, I do it pretty often. Normally, like anytime something changes or something happens, or I do something on the hunt, I'm gonna like do an film a little update, right? And there's three things that I cover in every single update at a minimum, and it's the past, the present, and the future. So what happened? What did I just do? Or what just happened? What am I doing now? And what am I gonna do in the future? So a quick example might be we just drove 2 hours and pulled into camp. We got camp set up. We're packing our bags real quick. We're gonna head out on the glassing knob and hopefully find some deer, right? So that's first. That's what you need. Those you have to have those to tell your story of your hunt. Um, because the worst thing is when you get home and you're editing through your footage and it's like you miss a whole section of the hunt or a big decision or something because you just forgot to film it. Um, you miss that piece of the story. And then once you have that, once you have those talking shots, then you can think about supplementing those with B-roll. So that's the video of you driving to your spot, putting up your tent, hiking into your spot, glassing. All that B-roll goes over top of, or it's kind of like it comes second. Sometimes you have to film it ahead of time, but you got to be thinking kind of about what am I going to be talking about? What do I need to be filming right now to fill that in, right? And so that's how I think about it is when I'm filming someone or filming myself, it's like covering what I need to cover, talking, and then making sure I back that up with some footage to go over top of that.
I want to tell you about Bison King. It's the jerky I keep in my truck, in my pack, and in my studio. It's 100% American raised bison sourced from ranchers who actually care about responsible meat production. Every batch is handcrafted and done in small runs so it tastes fresh every time. They come in big 5-ounce bags with 3 flavors to choose from. Teriyaki, it's the tender crowd favorite, peppered for that bold bite, and bison and salt. Just 2 clean ingredients for those who want clean protein to power their day. Why bison jerky? It gives you more protein per ounce than beef jerky. It's leaner and more nutrient dense to fuel your day. And hey, since our wives are always texting us links what they want for Christmas, send a stocking stuffer idea back. Visit bisonking.com and save 10% with code STEALTH. Again, that's bisonking.com, code STEALTH to save 10%. Bison King, fuel made for those who stand tall, charge hard, and rule the wild.
Is when I'm filming someone or filming myself, it's like covering what I need to cover, talking, and then making sure I back that up with some footage to go over top of that.
Yeah, and I think that's great advice. I mean, if it's me talking to myself when I'm out hunting, it's just going to be like continual updates, like still can't find the animals, or still can't close the distance, still trying to close the distance, blew
Yeah.
this canyon out.
Well, dude,
But
that's how it goes for me too. Like this year I hunted 13 days until I even like found a buck I wanted to shoot. So I have a bunch of footage from 13 days. I'm not going to use it all, but at least I have it because if it would have happened on day 6 and I just gave up filming on day 3, like I wouldn't have all that content. So
and that buck you were chasing this year for 13 days, that was a solo archery hunt, correct?
that was a rifle hunt. I did
Rifle hunt.
kill a archery buck this year. It was about that one I think was like 11 days or so, but only the last few days I was solo on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to that. I want to ask some
Yeah.
questions about that. I mean, you've clearly had a successful year. It's been fun being on the text thread with you and seeing the stuff. And I'm like, this guy just like drops animals. That's like all he does. Second nature. No wonder. I'm like, Logan, he's like, my mind, I'm like, this guy just wants to make it more interesting. That's why he's trying to capture his hunts now, record everything because it's too easy doing it the other way. But, but, so when you go through, capture that, like, okay, another question that comes to mind is like recharging your phone, like what's kind of like essential gear for there to be able to keep, I mean, because if you're at 11 days and you're like in the backwoods, like how do you keep like your if you're just documenting with your cell phone, like how do you keep that thing charged up?
Yeah. I mean, just power banks, right? So I use a lot of the dark energy power banks. I really like those banks, and I can get few charges on my phone off of one power bank, and then if I'm on a backpack hunt, I'll bring a solar panel with me. And anytime it's sunny, that thing's charging a power bank or my phone or whatever I need charged. And usually I'll have two, maybe three power banks on a hunt. Um, and I try to not even come close to running out of power and keep that solar panel going as much as possible. And I usually really never come close to running out. If I have two or three good power banks, they keep my phone charged just fine. And yeah, like I'm on my phone all the time. Even though I have a camera, I'm constantly using my phone for Onyx or filming some phone stuff and or filming through my spotting scope, so it dies pretty quick. But I charge it once or twice a day with those power banks and it works just fine.
Okay. Audio, do you bother, like, I mean, would you just use the audio that the iPhone captures? Would you use like the DJI mics or anything like that? Like any recommendations there?
Yeah, the iPhone is pretty good. Um, if I was just filming on a phone, I probably wouldn't worry about audio. If I if when I'm filming on a DSLR camera, like a nicer camera, the audio on those is terrible. So I definitely would recommend getting an external mic and like a wind cover for it because it's always windy in the mountains. So yeah, that's kind of how I would. If I was just filming on a phone, I don't think I'd worry about it too much. The phones do pretty good at it. But the DJI mics, like they're Bluetooth, so you just all you need is the mic and it'll Bluetooth to your phone. But then you have to use a separate camera software on your phone, and sometimes they're kind of finicky to connect, and so it's a little bit difficult, especially if you're on a hunt when things happen really quick. So
Yeah. No, that's good. So, okay, shifting gears, like let's say somebody they just got money burning a hole in their pocket and they're like, I want to go out. Camera recommendation, and let's say you can only buy two lenses. What lenses would you get?
so lenses. I have a lens on my camera that stays there, and it's not a very expensive lens. Like so seriously, I don't think I've switched lenses in the last like month when especially self filming because I don't really need to. And it's a 24 to 105 f4 lens. It's like 1,000 or 1,200 bucks. It's not an expensive lens as far as lenses go, um, but it's awesome. And there's times where I wish I had a little bit better low light capability, like a little lower aperture. But I honestly like it works great. I'm totally serious when I say I haven't taken it off in like a month because I don't need to. When I'm self filming a hunt, it has all the zoom I need, and I can zoom out and film myself. It's just fine. Um,
Nice
it
all-purpose lens.
it's a great all purpose lens. If I was gonna bring anything else, it'd probably be something with just some more zoom, maybe like 100 to 400, maybe a 70 to 200, something in that range. Um,
Hmm.
because you can get a little bit better wildlife footage through that. But I do most of my like long distance footage just through a spotting scope and my phone, and it works pretty good.
Okay. So again, back to the budget option. Like if you're trying to, if you know, capture something, set up your spotting scope,
Yeah,
slap it on, just record. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and I'll film kill shots through my spotting scope if I'm by myself. So set my spotting scope up with my phone on the deer, and then set my camera up filming myself and take the shot. And if as long as that situation has to work,
That
right? The
sounds
deer
so
can't.
overwhelming to me.
It's sometimes tough because it's like, yeah, that's if the deer's moving too much, it's just gonna be a little tough, and it's up to you. Is the shot like is killing the deer more important than getting it on film? Like, yeah, that's a personal thing you got to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's cool. So, okay. So people out there, I mean, we've talked about the filming, hunting, solo or with the crew. Um, I mean, I guess if you're helping somebody, the last thing you want to do is to be the guy that like blows the stock for them.
Yeah,
And I've talked to a couple other guys about that, so I don't know that we need to get into that. But uh, yeah, if I'm the person helping somebody hunt, like there's no worry, like their 100% is going to be blown. So anyway, so shifting gears. What's been like since you've started filming your hunts? Is there one that's kind of like stood out to you as like that, is like maybe has like the most meaning to you?
You know, I guess like a cool one is like the first film that I ever um, put out that was one of my hunts that was a solo film. It was a deer hunt, a rifled deer hunt, and it actually to this day still has the highest views on my channel. And this was years ago, and this was before I like really knew what I was doing. Like the color grade is terrible, the audio's decent, the storytelling is like subpar, but it's like the
You're
best.
always your own worst critic, man.
It's true, it's true. But I mean I know I can make a better film nowadays. But it is like the number one video on my YouTube channel right now. Like it has the most views. Which is cool because it's like the first one I ever put out, and I killed a decent buck. It's not a giant by any means, but like that stands out as like I I just needed to do it and like go film a hunt, put one together and post it. And w without that, I think that's where a lot of people get stuck is they just keep asking like how do I do this? But they don't ever just go out and do it and figure it out. And that's not the first film I ever made. I had films, plenty of films before that that I did for buddies and tried to film and they didn't work out. I learned that I need to film more or film different types of stuff to actually make something. And that's the first one that I like put together and posted and was proud of when I put it out. And
Hmm.
it it like it's just it's kind of cool to me that it's like the number one video still on my channel. So that one's pretty cool.
That's awesome. So was it the experience of you just deciding like, hey, I'm going to do it? Is that kind of why that one means so much to you? Like you just finally like did it? Was it the hunt itself? Was it just the fact that you were able to get both done, like capture it and, have a successful harvest, like punch that tag? Like what, maybe share a little bit of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, I think it's the fact that like I captured it how I wanted to and I was able to put it together. So when you're like when I first started filming hunts, I'd always like there it when you go film a hunt, it's easy to just like film it and think that you've captured everything, and then you get back
Yeah.
to the editing room a month later and you're like I don't even know how to make anything out of this. I don't have everything that I thought I had. Like there's no storyline here. So it takes a few tries and iterations to get it right and to figure it out. I feel like that was kind of one of the first times where I really put it together, right? In a way that I was able to make a story out of it. Um, and I was, like I said, like I watched like solo hunters when I was a kid. Like this was the first film that I was solo. I filmed everything. I got the kill shot. I got me shooting it, and I was able to just capture the whole thing and put it together. And that was cool to me. That's just like I can do it. Like there's no reason to not. And since then I filmed I think every hunt except for one of my own. It's just like it's just become second nature since then. Um, because I like having the memories. The one hunt that I didn't film, I'm kind of bummed that I didn't film it. And
What was that?
it was my elk hunt last year. At the time, I was like, I've been filming a bunch, and I was like, I just want to like go hunt. Like I need to get reignited with this passion a little bit, and just like go hunt and not worry about having a camera. And it was super fun, and I'm glad I like I don't regret not filming it. But there's times I'm like, man, that would be a sweet film if I could have captured that, you know. So
I think it's
I've
good
filmed everything
sometimes
since then.
to just like be in the moment, I mean, kind of like we were
Yeah,
talking a little bit earlier, like everyone's so like, connected to their phones and having to have that instant dopamine hit. I do think it's nice to sometimes like take a little break. I mean, like we like here on this podcast, like I'd been going. We started cranking out 2 episodes, and then hunting season came, and like I mean, it's been pretty sparse, like the episodes. I mean, I've got a bunch of episodes queued up. We're getting ready to drop here. Just now, it's like kind of like what you said. It's back to the editing, and I don't really do much editing to these, other than just kind of uh, put some intros, different things like that. It's not much. It's more just like the exporting time, but
Yeah.
it is nice sometimes to just decompress. And I think it's sad that, like, for those that are in like the influencer space, I guess, if you will, or the creative space, it's like the algorithms, if you take a break sometimes, like, it likes to kick in the pants a little bit. And so then you've got like that PTSD. It's like, well, I'm trying to build this business, I'm trying to build this podcast, this, creative media company. And if I take a little breather or I don't record something, you're going to miss out. But I feel like sometimes you need that. So then when you decide, when you do come back and jump back in, you've kind of hit like that reset button and you're ready to go back in all in.
Yeah.
And I think most people understand that, as far as like when you talk about like followers, subscribers, and people that are just interested in your content. But for whatever reason, man, the powers that be at the social media world and YouTube, it's like you take a break and they're like, we're going to punish you for that. But that would be my one complaint, because it's like, it's not like the people that are interested have gone. They just make you work that much harder to kind of re-engage. But well, that's cool that you were able to go out and capture that. Tell me a little bit about that hunt. I mean, so you don't regret it, but maybe tell me a little bit, if you don't mind sharing, what was special about it, where there is that little itch, like, man, that would have been fun to have documented.
Yeah. So it was my first uh, archery elk kill. So that was cool. That would have been something cool to have on film. Uh, it was I've hunted archery elk a little bit, but not a ton. Um, like here and there, just for fun. I'd go out with buddies and we just like mess around and try and kill something, and we never did, you know. But that was the
Sounds
first
like
like
that sounds like me.
exactly right. I mean, it's fun, but like we never got close. And so last year I was coming off of a hunt where I killed a buck with my bow, and I was feeling pretty confident in myself and my abilities. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna kill an elk. Like it's gonna be easy, right? And I it took me a few days, but like I got it done. And it was my first time killing an elk with my bow. Now that was cool. That was special. I got to I was totally solo, like by myself in grizzly bear country. Like it was awesome. I loved it. And after I shot it, like my wife came up and her dad came up, and like we packed it out. Like it was just a cool experience to have, and to live, and like just like picture perfect elk hunting. The elk were going crazy every day. Like I was in range on bulls every day, and I just had to finally come together. Eventually, it just took some time, you know. So it was
Did
fun.
you
It
go
was
out
just a
with the
cool.
mindset, like, as far as this one with your archery, where you're like, hey, like, I want to find like a big boy, or just like, hey, I'm going to find, like, look for the right opportunity to present itself?
Yeah, it was. I wasn't worried about how big it was, what it scored. I was just trying to kill an elk, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So you get it done. The wife comes up. You say it was your dad or your father-in-law?
father.
Father-in-law. Okay, so
Yeah,
they come up, help pack it out. Was it a long pack out? Was it not too bad? Like,
it wasn't bad. It was like a mile and a half downhill, so it wasn't bad at all. Actually, it was a pretty good, pretty easy pack out. Took a couple trips though.
I can't wait to feel the weight of a elk quarter on my back. And I and
It's
I
fun.
hope it's like 8 miles.
Yeah,
Like,
you won't
I,
you won't
I,
hope
I
it's that
maybe
far
should
when
I
you're
maybe
doing
should have
it.
taken that back. I hope it's like a quarter mile from camp.
There you
Like,
go.
I'm walking out, one just out of dumb luck comes stumbling in, and it's like, hey, it's my time. Take me, baby.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's cool. So have you got any more hunts going on the rest of the year?
So I have one. I have another deer tag if I want, and I am going on a hunt next week as we're recording this. So first week in November, I'll be out on a backpack hunt, just rifle over-the-counter deer tag, and it's a good time of year to be out. We're going to be in an area that's not super. There's not a high density, but there's quite a few deer there. Yeah, we're backpacking in. We're probably going to go in about, I don't know, 5 to 10 miles, depending on how the snow looks and the country and everything. It's kind of a spot that I've never been before. So me and two buddies are going to head in there on that. And then there's some opportunity if I want as a resident in Idaho with over the counter tag. There's some other opportunities if I don't kill a buck there. There's still some stuff open. I don't think I'm going to spend too much time out looking though, unless I somehow stumble upon like a big buck and I want to try and kill it. I
Yeah.
don't need another a deer in my freezer right now. It's my freezer is full. And then and then after that,
Well, if you do
January.
stumble upon
What's up?
one and you can't find a freezer to put it in, just give me a call.
There you go. All right. Yeah, dude, my wife, she killed a moose this year, and then I've killed 2 deer so far, and we still have meat in our freezer from last year. So
That's
we
awesome.
like it's great. Yeah, it's great. Um, we eat a lot. We eat a lot. We eat meat every day, and then give it away to some friends and family and stuff. So it's cool.
That's awesome. That's way cool. So, are you filming any more hunts like that aren't your own? Have you got any projects that you're working on that, I mean, I don't know if it's like you've got like non-disclosures or something, but anything fun that comes to mind?
Yeah, I don't have anything else. I had one that got canceled that was in December, so not doing that one anymore. So nothing else. I have a lot of stuff to edit though. I think I probably got 5 or 6 films to edit. Um, Most of them are my own that are going to be coming out next year, and then a couple from just some clients I filmed this year. So lots of
Yeah,
work
dude,
there
you're out
still.
there grinding, man. You are boots on the ground doing it. I remember we had one call with some guys, and uh, you were like, I might not be able to jump on the call, and then you sent a picture through with a nice buck that was down, and I think if memory serves, when you hopped on the video portion for a minute, you had a buck on your back that you were um, packing out. So you you don't waste much time. You keep busy, and I think it's fun. I think it's awesome what you're doing. I think, as I've been following and watching like your films, I mean all of them. I just think you do a great job in documenting, and it's a ton of fun to see. Yeah, and excited. I don't know that we're quite ready to drop the bomb on the projects that we're working on. I know there's a few things that we're still trying to get finalized, but yeah, definitely like
Yeah,
stay tuned, folks. We got more to come, and maybe Logan can make a killer out of me yet. But
I hope so, dude. It's
yeah,
gonna be pretty cool.
yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Um, so have you done, just shifting gears? Have you done any predator hunting?
A little bit. Me and some buddies will go call coyotes every once in a while. Oh, I mean, I guess we do black bears every year. So uh, I've killed a handful of bears now over the last few years, and then some coyotes. And I mean, if I saw a wolf, I'm gonna shoot it, or a lion if it's in season, you know. But I'm not really seeking those out too much.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to getting out on a black bear hunt. I don't know why that sounds so alluring to me.
Yeah,
Maybe because they're probably a lot easier to shoot and get close to than a buck uh, or a bull for
yeah,
me. But yeah, we've got some guys that we're talking with, and yeah, we're gonna get out. I think I got 2 bear hunts I'm gonna be doing next year, so excited to get out and do that.
nice.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I know some
Bear is
guys love
so
it.
fun.
Yeah, yeah. So what do you like about bear hunting?
So I love just like the how I hunt them and the country I hunt them in. I don't do like bear baits or run dogs. It's all spot and stock. And so it's like steep, nasty, rocky cliff country that's like you'd never set foot in it except for when you shoot a bear because it's like crazy. I just love that. It's
So,
so cool.
so Logan just thinks I want to go punish myself for 4 or 5 days.
It's kind of how it is, dude. Yeah, some of the bear hunts I've been on are like the hardest physical hunts I go on, um, which is crazy because it's like I just think of them as a fun animal to hunt, but yeah, they bring you to some crazy places.
What's the most difficult part about hunting bear for you doing the spot and stock?
You know, it's I don't know. I mean, with bears, it's I think the it's not that once you find them and once you kind of know the areas they're living in, you can usually find more bears. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find that area that has good bears, good bear hunting. I mean, there's areas where I've been and we've seen 30 bears in 7 days, and then we go to the same area, but like maybe a week earlier in the year, and we only see like 5 bears. So timing it is a little difficult with bears. You have to have at the right time, even if you're in a good area. I'm fortunate enough to hunt the exact same area for the last 3 or 4 years. And every year is different. Some years we just see more bears, and some years we see less bears. And some of it's kind of the time, the snow year. It might depend on stuff. I don't know what other factors go into it, but just finding that spot and finding the bears can be tough. Because once you find them, they're usually going to stick around depending on the time of year. Sometimes they move a lot, sometimes they stick around. And then yeah, I mean killing them and packing them out, yeah, that's tough, but like the pack out's just it the hunt's over. You just got to get it out. So
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Um, what would you say is the most like overrated piece of hunting equipment?
that's a good question. That's a really good question.
But I'm putting you on the spot. I
Over
completely like shifted gears on you, but
Yeah. Oh, let's see. I might think for a second about this. What's the most overrated piece of gear? Um, I can think of a lot of pieces of gear that I would say are underrated.
okay. Well, let's start there then,
Let's do
and
that.
I'll just tell
So,
you what most everybody says it's camo.
oh, okay. I guess I didn't think about that. Um, yeah, a camo pattern. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. I like it sometimes, but I don't think it's necessary for sure.
Yeah,
Most of my stuff's not camo, so.
yeah. So okay, underrated. Let's talk about the most underrated piece of hunting equipment.
So, a couple things like number one, which it's probably not very underrated, but I think it's a lot more important than people think it is like good optics. Um, a lot of people put a big emphasis on it, but when you have good optics and you know how to use them, if you're really deliberate about how you use your optics, is probably more important than what kind of optics you're using. Um, and how, like, when you're glassing, how are you glassing? Are you glassing off a tripod? Are you actually glassing all morning, or are you just like glancing and then checking your phone for 30 minutes and then glassing again? Because I find myself doing that. And so making sure you have the good optics, but then you're actually using them right, I think is important.
So, what advice would you give to somebody? Because again, this podcast is focused on people that are new to hunting,
Yeah.
that don't know how to kill anything. Or I'm not saying everybody. I'm talking about me in that instance. But when you say people don't use them right, like what advice would you give to somebody that's out glassing and how to properly use their optics to be able to put them like in the game?
Yeah, great question. So, um, optics. So when I sit down to glass a hillside, um, it's really easy just to glass all the openings and see if there's a deer there or not, or an elk. And it's you might sit there all morning, and a couple of deer might come out, but really where the deer are is they're living in the cover and on the edges of the timber. And I mean, elk are going to be similar, but they're also going to be out more often. But the principle uh, that I guess I'm trying to get to is like really glassing edge habitat, timber country. A lot of the deer I find are already like in timber, and I'm actually glassing through the trees to find them. And the only way to do that is to sit down, to get your bino steady on a tripod, or
or something similar, and just pan and glass. And you want to check you obviously you want to check those the easy areas first, those openings where it's easy to see, but then really get tight on all those that country. Um, I would also say something that I don't see a lot of newer hunters do is find vantage points that you can see a lot of country, even if you're like too far away to get a shot at something in the from that point. If you can see a lot of country, your chances of finding an animal just go up so much higher because you can just see more country. If you just limit yourself to glassing one little canyon and that's all you can see, and if you just sit there all day, like there might not even be an animal that walks through that canyon all day, but there might be an animal 2 canyons away from you, but you just needed to get back on the opposite ridge or something to be able to see that the whole country. So getting back, glassing a bunch of country, and just taking your time is super important.
When I think that's great advice. When I first started going out trying to like spot stuff, I would always try and like tuck myself in to where like I'm not seen, and I had a very narrow range of vision, right? Because I've
Yeah,
got trees, I've got cover, and so I can't really open up the country. And that was one of the things that my buddy Tyson um, kind of helped me this year. We were able to see a lot more animals, and that was one thing. He's like, you need to get set up here so like you can see this canyon, you can see that ridge down over there. If something comes up, he taught me kind of how to get into the right vantage point to what you were saying, to be able to cover a lot more country. And it's kind of amazing like what your peripheral vision can pick up.
oh yeah,
Because prior to opening season for archery, I mean, we were on this area I was in. I'm like, this is going to be easy. I'm going to get it done this year. And I mean, for like 2 months, it was just buck after buck after buck after buck after buck. I mean, if there was one, there was typically 6 or 7 of them around. And I mean, there was one day I think we saw 17. And then opening day came, and I'm out there at the butt crack of dawn, get down the place that I've seen these bucks for months and months and months and months. And I'm like, where the hell did everything go? Like they're gone. It's almost
yeah,
like they got the memo too. They got the calendar like, okay, boys, let's just tease them until this date at this time. And then we're all going to have to like move out. And, we'll be safe because everyone's going to think that we're right here.
yeah, yeah, dude, that's tough, and that happens too, and sometimes deer will kind of move depending on the season, but just like you're saying, like opening day comes and they get pressure, they hear those ATVs rolling up, and like some of those deer are just gonna move.
They're like, they're here, boys.
Yeah, pretty much.
Make yourself scarce.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Logan, hey, man, as we wrap up here, like, first of all, just really appreciate you making the time to come on to the podcast. I think you've got a wealth of knowledge, and we'll make sure everyone go follow him. It's Logan.Romney on social, correct?
Yep. Yep.
We'll make sure that we put links in the show notes. So if you're not following him, make sure you head on over, give him a follow. But as we wrap up here, Logan, what would you say to like what's one piece of advice that you would give to a new hunter that let's say they're just archery hunter, right? Going out, whether it's a buck or deer or whatever it may be. What advice would you give them to help them kind of along the way? Like something that maybe like, man, I wish somebody would have told me that 20 years ago. And maybe your dad or somebody told you 20 years ago.
Yeah. 20 years ago, I was 3 years old, so I don't know if I
Yeah,
would have
then you'd
learned
have a
much.
great memory.
Just kidding. So yeah, Ryan, that's a good question. So I think the biggest thing that I would say is like just be relentless. There's there's almost every hunt and success that I have had this year is because I just stuck with it. Like seriously, I didn't kill like the first 10 days of every hunt I've been on this year. I haven't killed anything. It's those last like few days where I finally got it done and figured it out and found the deer or whatever, right? I think that's the biggest thing. And the people I hunt with who kill the most animals are the guys that can just stick with it and not give up and not get frustrated and discouraged for too long, right? Like they might get just frustrated at something that happens on the day that might blow a stock or someone bumps a deer, but you just got to pick yourself back up and stay after it. And it's like hunt from like as or like first light to end of the day, and like you're out there to hunt. Don't get distracted. That's what you're there for. That's why you're there. It's like home's still there, and it's hard. It's hard. It's hard for me, and I hunt like I've been hunting my whole life, but it's sometimes it is hard because you get discouraged because you're not finding animals. You want to move areas, and it's there's a lot that goes through my mind when I'm out hunting and just not having success. But man, I've just found that the more you stick with it, the if you don't kill anything, you're going to be better off for it. But the chances of you actually harvesting an animal just increase because the more just the longer you can stick with it, the better, dude.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I love it. I get just enough. Like I said, I had this bull come over the ridge that just didn't have a bull tag for that unit, but it was a ton of fun to see. I'm like, they're real. They exist in the wild. I had gone out my first time I ever went elk hunting. I had one at like 30 yards, didn't have a shot on vitals, so I didn't take it, but I was like hooked. And then went through like 4 years of just like nothing. I can hear them. I can't see them. I can't find them. They're not coming to me. They're not talking. And that's the one thing in Utah about the archery hunt is like they really didn't start talking until like the last 2 or 3 days, and even then they weren't like, "Well, I'm going to leave my cows and go see what's going on down there." They'd talk back and then they would bounce. But I had gone out and just like beat myself up. I mean, I got a full-time job. I think it's great for guys. I mean, I'm envious of guys who are able to go out and put in 10, 11, 13 days. And there's guys that have full-time jobs that go and do that. I'm just not in that position yet. But I had gone out for like 3 days. It was like my fourth time going out, like trying to get on this buck in this unit and just couldn't get it done. And my truck, I had to take it in the shop, right? Get it fixed up. So I had a rental, not my truck. Rented a truck, went out, did my hunt, didn't get anything. I'm driving back. I'm flustered. I'm tired. Like for whatever reason, like I do not sleep when I'm out hunting. Like I can't get comfortable. Like, I mean, so it's like 3 days, like you're tired as all get out. Anyway, I'm driving home. Everything's going good. I'm in the middle of this canyon. It's like a 5-mile stretch where there's no cell service. All of a sudden, bing, this light comes on. Air pressure low. And it went from air pressure low to flat in a matter of like 1 minute. So like I pull over, like they didn't have, well, I didn't know where the tools were. I looked all the other places, like in every other truck that I've had, trying to find the tools to be able to change the flat. Couldn't get it. I'm tired. Like I've got like everything just like loaded to the hilt in the bed of the truck. And I'm stuck there for probably an hour and a half. I finally find the equipment I need to be able to change the change the tire. And I finally get it done. When I come out of the canyon, I call my wife. She's like, "I thought you were going to be home, a while ago." I was probably 2.5 hours from home. And before I left camp, I had cell service. So I called her. I'm like, "I'm leaving." And anyway, that whole fiasco happens. I finally call her. I'm like, "I'm done. I'm like, hunting's not for me. Like the hunting gods hate me. They're just telling me like, be done." I get home, pack it up. At this time it's like, I don't even know. I feel like it was Sunday, probably like 4 or 6 o'clock. And this is to your relentless part. I'm just like, I'm done. I come in, I'm like, I'm not even going to unload the truck. Like I'm done. I hate this. I come in, sit down, have dinner, crash out, have a little nap for like an hour. And then at 10 o'clock, I text my buddy Dustin and I was like, "Do you want to go out tomorrow morning?" And he's like, "I thought you were done." I'm like, I'm not done. I'm like, I'm not gonna let this thing beat me. So anyway, so we leave. I'd gone like 3 nights of not really having any sleep at all. Wake up 2:30, meet him. We drive up. By 9 a.m. we had been chasing bulls on this mountain, and they were talking to us. And I thought for sure we were going to get it done, but we had covered like 10.2 miles by like 8 a.m. And it was just it was brutal, but I loved it. So it's like, okay, like they're talking again. I'm finding them, and obviously we couldn't ever, the same thing. We're right on the border of like Deseret, so like you can hear him, and one kept coming over, and like he would talk to us, close the distance. You could hear him getting close, and then he's like, not interested. I'm going to stay over here. But that relentlessness, like when it does beat you up, because there's guys that go out bow hunting. I mean, Weston, who I just I just recorded with him this week too. He's like, it took him 7 years to get his first kill with the bow.
Yeah.
Of an elk, and it's just like you just have to keep after it. So I keep hearing stories like that, and like as I check the years off, I'm like, I'm getting closer, baby. I'm getting closer to getting it done. So anyway, yeah,
Absolutely, dude.
it's a lot of fun, and I think that it's great advice. Just be relentless. The more time you can put out there, I mean, if you can't go for 10, 11 days, but you can be a weekend warrior, go be a weekend warrior. Just if it's something that you love, you're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find out real quick if you don't like hunting, because when you get in the backcountry and you have a pack on you and you're out there dirty and nasty and not getting on anything, like it will test your will for sure. But anyway, well, Logan, apologize. I went on a little rant there myself, but guys, please, again, if you're not following him, go over to Logan.Romney on the socials. Just Google his name. You can find him on YouTube as well. Give him a follow. Tons of great information that he puts out, and just a great dude. So Logan, thank you again for being on the show, and thank you for listening to the Hunt Stealth podcast. We are the fastest growing podcast in the United States. Stay safe and God bless.